This person stated that I voted against my interests by voting for President Donald Trump. My name is Christian Maxwell. I'm the Republican nominee for Congress in Illinois Congressional District 1, running against Jonathan Jackson. The South Side, this district goes from the south side of Chicago all the way out to Kankakee. So this implies that this person knows what my interests are. I'm going to identify the interests that I used to decide who I should be voting for.
Now, before she go in, and I'm not going to stop it again until she is done. At least I'm going to try my best. But the reason why this is so important is because when people see a black person who voted for Trump, they automatically say you voted against your interests, and they know nothing about what your interests are. They just see that you're a black person, and they have already proclaimed that this presidency, this administration is bad for anyone that looks like me and Christian. All right, let's go. She's about to tear their tails up.
I'm a homeschool mom of 4. Between Donald Trump and Kamala, Donald Trump's platform was much more open-minded to homeschooling parents and also increasing support for homeschool as a choice. So I chose Donald Trump. My family owns firearms. Kamala blatantly stated during her campaign that she was going to do gun buybacks for any rifles, and she was not gun friendly. She quickly tried to state that, oh, she's a gun owner and she was open to people having what she decided was okay for them, but I'm only open to what the Constitution says is okay for us. So therefore, again, I voted for Donald Trump. I'm an entrepreneur, and Kamala's platform heavily talked a lot about welfare and also empowering people who are basically, everything was about being marginalized and being in a weakened state. I really wanted to lean towards a platform that was geared towards business endeavors and entrepreneurship and creating a market and ecosystem that is much more conducive to people starting new things and being invested in. I have a big issue with the amount of illegal aliens that came into the country. Kamala's platform, she was actually the person who was in charge of immigration and the border during the Biden presidency, and she massively failed. And the border, her closing the border was not something she said she was going to do. Donald Trump literally ran on not only closing the border, but also deporting many of these military-age males that flooded the U.S. under the Biden-Kamala presidency. I'm very pro-family. Kamala did not have a pro-family platform. She actually brought an abortion bus to the DNC rally that they had here in Chicago. Not only did President Trump have a more pro-family platform, he also is advocating for people to be able to basically start families and to have more additional resources with the Trump accounts and things like that for their children. So again, I chose Donald Trump because his platform, and it aligned more closely with my interests. I also really don't like being pandered to and told that I'm automatically inferior just because I'm black and a woman. And Kamala's platform, again, really leaned a lot into those tropes. And I'm extremely repulsed by that. It repulses me. So again, I chose Donald Trump's platform because he didn't belittle black women and talk to them like they were automatically weak and destined for failure and in need of abortions and welfare.
Yeah.
I also don't like how during the presidential race, my interest, I'm very interested in people who answer questions thoroughly and honestly. And many of the times when you ask Kamala anything, many reporters would have to hammer her to try to get an answer, and she would still not answer. And I think
Kamala was fake as shit. I'm sorry, that's not what she was saying, but that is what she said. Kamala was fake, bro. She only said what she thought the people wanted to hear. And if she had an answer, but she thought it was going to get her in trouble, she's not answering, baby. She's going to change the subject. She's going to say something that's a tagline that can be reposted and reshared and retweeted by people who love her only. It wasn't about letting the people know who she was. It was about letting the people know what the game plan is. We've already discussed things. And if you ask me anything outside of that game plan, I ain't got nothing for you, baby. Okay,
answer questions thoroughly and honestly. And many of the times when you ask Kamala anything, many reporters would have to hammer her to try to get an answer, and she would still not answer. And I think that that's the issue of transparency. So when it comes to my interest, I'm very interested in people who will answer a question, even if it doesn't make them look great. And I think that Donald Trump is always willing to answer the question, even if he doesn't have a perfect answer. And Kamala was willing to hedge and avoid answering and being honest. And that didn't align with my interest. Lastly, and most importantly, I'm a Christian, and Kamala did not harp on Christianity or faith or returning America to being a Christian nation. And again, that is a core interest for me as a voter in the U.S. I want to see Christianity uplifted. I want to see it made the primary religion of our country, which is what Donald Trump has done. It's what he said and it's what he did. So again, that aligned with my interest. So that's why I voted with and for Donald Trump, why I would do it again if it was an opportunity to, and why I would vote for another president if they had the same platform as Donald Trump. So I did vote based on my interest.
Special partnership alert. We just now linked up with XXDrinks.com, which you could take advantage of and get 10% off by hitting the link in the descriptions. Their products support energy, stamina, confidence, mood, circulation, and overall body sensitivity, not just one single effect. Tea, coffee, and you and your significant other are going to be extremely happy. I promise you. Go through the link below and get 10% off. I'll see you on the other side. Shout out to her, bro. This was the best breakdown by anybody who's Black and conservative. I promise you, and I know there's a whole bunch of Black conservatives out there that bring it. But as far as her breakdown, as far as wanting to have someone in office who addressed homeschooling, who addressed gun ownership, who was in support of both of those, why wouldn't you be? Why wouldn't you be? Why wouldn't you make opportunities better for a mom or a dad to homeschool their kids? Why wouldn't you lean into the Second Amendment? Huh? So that we can protect ourselves from dangerous people outside of our dwelling. Like, come on, man. Also, business owners, they made sure, what other president have we had in office that was a better businessman than Trump? Go ahead and answer that. And I don't know a whole bunch about business, but from the outside looking in, I was like, man, judge a man by his fruits. And this dude, they would say, but he went bankrupt about 4 or 5 times. And still a billionaire? He must be a bad mamma jamma. He must be a bad mofo for real. All right, let's go down the list. Immigration. Bruh, they didn't give a damn about Americans when they just opened up the floodgates and did what they did, and how they looked out for them, financed whatever they wanted to finance, gave them all the resources possible, trying to create new Democrat voters, trying to create the new world order that they're trying to create in this country to support the Democrats, because they see people are moving away from loving America and honoring America. So they want to bring in more people who will go against the grain. We are trying to set a communist standard, a socialism standard. We hate capitalism. We need people to come over here who will hate it too. Let's move forward. Let me see. Inferiority. I forgot what she said about inferiority. Inferiority. She didn't want to vote for anybody who made women feel less than, especially women of color. Oh, you're Black, you got less this and less that, and you need help with this, and you need help with that. You can't compete with them without this. Inferiority got people just constantly thinking like an antagonist instead of an optimist. You know, you want people to think positively. Yeah, you can do it just like anybody else. We can go down the history of our country, and women have been doing some great things, and they still are. And the disingenuous part about it is they will make it seem like Black women, and I'm talking about Kamala, they will make it seem like Black women couldn't do anything without all this extra help, and they're the worst people, most hated people in America, and they can't get jobs, and they can't get loans, and they can't do this, that, and the third. But then sit back and brag like Jasmine Crockett and say Black women are the most educated group in our country, which is not the truth. It's actually Asians, then it's whites, so I'm not even going to go through all that because I looked it up in order to see if it was true, because I'm an objective thinker. I'm not just going to be against what you say because you're on the other side. No, I believe that we're all Americans, whether you're Democrat or you're Republican, but we have to lean on common sense. We have to lean on our Constitution. And like, come on, bro. Anyway, so inferiority, open and honest. You'd be hard pressed to find an interview where Kamala will answer every single question that's given to her, unless she's on a Democrat leaning interview that's only going to ask her things that will make her look good. Here's the thing though, you're not only going to be the president of Democrats. It's not about looking good. It's about giving us what we need, which is honesty. Whether we like it or not, take this medicine. We don't need no sugar all the time. You ain't got to smile and cackle. You ain't got to make up sugar honey iced tea to relate to a group talking about, I know how to cook greens too. I clean mine in the bathtub. I like gun laws too. I mean, I like the Second Amendment too. I carry a Glock. I got one on me right now. Want to see? Huh? Want to see? I brought one just in case y'all want to see, so I can get some gun points. Fake as hell. She was not honest. And then you have Trump, who will speak for hours. And this dude is 80 years old. He will hold rallies and go from point to point to point to point to point to point to point. He will sit down and be interviewed by anybody, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, Fox, you name it, Newsmax, you name it. I'm with people who like me. I'm interviewed by people who hate me. Let's go. Y'all remember when he got interviewed by the black reporters, where he showed up and it was a bunch of black women that was interviewing him. And I believe Harris, I forget her name, from Fox News. If I'm saying her name wrong, my apologies. Charged to my mind, not my heart. But Harrison Ford. No, it wasn't Harrison. What was it? Anyway, so she was on the panel, right? And he sat there, and this brother, first of all, he let them know, I don't appreciate the fact that this interview was supposed to start 30 minutes ago. I got here on time. Nobody told me what was going on. The person I was supposed to be debating was supposed to be here, but made up some crazy excuse like, I will have to do a Zoom because I can't travel. But when it was her time to do it, she flew there and sat down there and got interviewed, and it was underwhelming. They didn't even like her at all. And that's what I'm talking about. He will put himself on the line, put himself out there, whether you like it or not, because we can't appease everybody. We can't, not everybody's I can't win everybody over. All right, let's go to the last one. Christian values. Just in case y'all haven't been paying attention lately, Democrats are turning away from Christian values because they're saying that is the white man religion and this is the white man's country. And they're trying to move on from that because gays should be able to do this and pedos should be able to do that. And it's like everything you want us to do that's wrapped around biblical principles, we are against it. Why in the hell would I vote for a president who's against Christian values? When I was a minister myself, when my family was raised in the church, not my family, not me and my brothers, but me and my wife raised our children in the church for biblical principles. Not about going there and giving the preacher all your money and dancing around and acting the fool and singing until you hoarse in the voice, but actually getting a relationship with God and showing them the right way to live. Because now, as young adults, it's paying off. Biblical principles are so wrapped around them. They are so blessed because of it. So now I have an opportunity to vote for the next president. And I'm just going to look beyond my own Christian values. See, the next time you as a black person say you're voting against your interests, you don't know the person you're talking to. Maybe you should have a conversation. What are your interests? Because if your interests are homeschooling, gun ownership, if you're a business owner, you want to hear more about that. If you're concerned about immigration, making sure our country is run well and not overwhelmed with people from other countries, with other cultures who don't care about the ways we do things. Yeah. Pro family. You want somebody that's absolutely pro family. That's not pushing inferiority, but saying that we can all do it, that we're all the same, that even I will help you out if you're trying to do it. That right there is what I'm talking about. Open and honest and Christian values. Come on, bro. She brought it. Shout out to Christian. She is running for Congress. And she says something. She says something about having someone in office who's actually honest. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody that's not kissing people's ass in order to get voted in. And she still got 65% of the votes when she ran for City Hall. So at the end of the day, when she runs for Congress, woman, I won't be able to vote for her, but I pray she wins because she's a good woman. Shout out to her. Hopefully y'all picked up what I was putting down and her as well. Y'all have an amazing day. Love y'all. Peace. We have been helping people grow online. It has been absolutely amazing. We have helped many content creators get from zero to monetization in under 30 days. We even have a couple of these superstars who did it in 1 or 2 weeks. If you want to learn how to do YouTube, I don't care your age, I don't care what skills or talents you have. Trust me, I can help you do it effortlessly. Just reach out to me with the word coach and we can get it done. One more thing. We have a YouTube course that I just now created. I'm extremely proud of, and a lot of people are getting so much from. Purchase that course and work with us. You can join our private Facebook group and our daily group calls, which is 3 to 5 days per week, and you can learn so much more than you've ever learned before. I can't wait to hear from you. Love you. Peace.